question 24. Now there are two ways to solve this. You could either use the quadratic formula or you can factorize. Now I've chosen to use the factorizing method because I think that's easier. So in order to factorize a quadratic means when we've got an x squared, you've got to appreciate that the brackets are going to compose a pair of brackets. And at foundation we're always going to just have a single x squared here. So you can always just pop an x in here and an x in here as your starting point. So the secret is all about how to find these two magic numbers here. Now how do we find these two magic numbers? Well, first of all we've got to consider the two numbers which when multiplied together give us minus 24, this term on the end. Note you've got to include the minus. So our two magic numbers when multiplied equal minus 24. Yet at the same time these two magic numbers when you add them give you the number in front of the x, which is a plus 5. So plus 5. So I always recommend that over on the side you set the scene. You want two magic numbers that multiply make minus 24 but add together that make 5. So I think in a way you just want to then start off just with the numerical element. Don't worry too much about the sign. So how can we get 24? Well, 1 times 24, well there's nothing we can really do with 1 and 24 to ever get to 5. 2 12s, again they're quite a long way apart. Now 3 8s, 3 8s is interesting, isn't it? Because 3 times 8 is 24, but the difference between the two of them is 5. So really 3 and 8 are going to be the two numbers we need. It's then just a question of which one we tag the minus onto. Now from the plussing point of view, can you see that 8 take away 3 gives us plus 5, so that's why the minus has to tag on to the minus 3. So our two magic numbers are minus 3 and plus 8. So inside the bracket we have minus 3 plus 8. Now you've then just got to learn that your actual final solutions, you need to change the sign of these magic numbers. So your final answers aren't minus 3 but plus 3, and not plus 8 but minus 8, and I'll tell you why. When we go and multiply two things together, okay, this bracket by this bracket, if we want to end up with 0 overall, we need to make the whole bracket equal to 0, because 0 lots of whatever is 0, and going the other way, 0 lots of whatever is 0. So down here you've really got to say to yourself, what value of x will make the whole bracket 0? Well, that's 3, isn't it? Because 3 take away 3 is 0, 0 lots of whatever are 0. And then similarly, when just focusing on the second bracket, how can we make this bracket 0? Well, that's when x is minus 8. Minus 8 add 8 is 0, so 0 lots of whatever the first bracket is also gives us 0. So that's our answer.